Today I am in Lithuania with Klaidas, and he is an expert at brand management PPC, and he's going to share his top 4 things which you should be doing to grow your Amazon listing and to grow your brand on Amazon. Stay tuned. What are we doing?
We're trying to figure out how the park meter works.
You live in this country.
I use the app.
Go on, are we there?
Okay, we go for the registration then.
Yeah.
Today I'm with Klaidas. I would pronounce his last name, but unfortunately I'm just not even going to try. I'm not great at this.
It's not an English name. It's a Lithuanian last name.
So first things first, I just want to ask, Klaidas, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've done?
Yeah, so I'm 21 years old. I'm Klaidas. I'm an Amazon seller. My family has been selling on Amazon for the last 5-6 years. And my personal business is I help other people sell on Amazon. I do consulting. I manage brand accounts. I take on the role of the brand manager, of the account manager, manage the PPC, the listings, and coordinate the whole entry to Amazon or scaling of the business in Amazon.
So basically, quite a lot of stuff, and he's only 21 years old. Now, you might kind of be asking, Tom, why are you interviewing this guy? Why are you having the conversation? Well, let me put it this way. I turned up in Lithuania and I said to someone, I'm here to meet a friend of mine. He's an Amazon seller. Obviously, I meant Mr. Luke Dugan, Mr. FBA UK. And they said, no. They said, actually, are you here to meet Klaidas? And I was like, Klaidas? Who? Literally, it's like a random guy on the street. And I said, my God, I've got to find out who this person is. Obviously, found you on Facebook, connected, and was like, we need to meet. Because if I'm going to meet a random person on the street who doesn't sell on Amazon, is not an Amazon seller, but they know him, obviously it means that he knows something, and I want to network and understand. So first things first, thank you very much for meeting with me today. And second of all, thank you for sharing all the information you got. And well done to you, 21, all of that, and so much knowledge, and so many people aware of it. So obviously today, tell me a little bit about who you are, what's the story, how you got involved in Amazon.
Well, basically, when I was 16, my parents, they came to me and were like, you're good at math, you're good at English. We have products, we are manufacturers, we want to sell them online. So my parents, they have a business of manufacturing some particular very, very niche products, and they're selling to distributors all around the world. And when I came into that business, my role was as an e-commerce manager with a manager of one person, which is myself, was to move their products to Amazon. And 5 years ago, there was no information online really, no free information online on that. And for 3 years, I was working only with my parents' business, scaled up the Amazon side of the business, some of eBay, some Etsy, but focused mainly on Amazon. And when I scaled that business to where it needs to be, and to the point where I could spend my time doing other things, which was military, which was studying in the university, I started I started sharing my experiences, started sharing my knowledge of selling on Amazon just from my past experience with other Lithuanian sellers, with our community in Lithuania. I started speaking at different events and at meetups. I started speaking at conferences in Lithuania. And basically what happened is that people came to me for help, for consulting, for technical issues that they were having. And as time went forward, I started to get more clients. I started to face more difficult issues. And so for the past 2.5 years, I've been working with dozens and hundreds of Amazon sellers, of people who want to start selling on Amazon. I have several clients that I manage their Amazon accounts and that I scale their Amazon accounts. And basically now my main goal and my main task and job, what I do is I help people start selling on Amazon. Usually these are the companies that are selling everywhere else. They have their own e-commerce stores, they have distributors, they are manufacturers. Or I help current Amazon sellers scale their business with my knowledge of how everything should be, with the knowledge of PPC and stuff like that. So basically I manage the whole Amazon side of things from the strategic standpoint and from the micro-tasking standpoint in the PPC area and in other areas that basically need. I do everything what needs to be done in order to, get more sales with, more profit. I think that's the main thing. I even write a lot of articles in Lithuania, in the same media, just about selling on Amazon, trying to show people that it's an opportunity. And mostly for businesses because in Lithuania we have a lot of manufacturers and we have a lot of business owners that just are stuck in the bubble. Yep. They're just stuck in Lithuania's bubble and they don't look past our border. And with e-commerce, with Amazon, borders are they're not limits. So my goal with the articles that I'm writing are to, inform people that it's an opportunity and it doesn't really require, it's not that difficult and it's not that complicated as it might seem from the beginning. You just have to start.
And hey, he's done all of that, newspapers, radio, and you're what, 21?
Oh, turning 22 soon.
22, okay, fine. And it sounds like a wealth of knowledge, and it is, and I'm not gonna lie, you said you started when you were 16, that's really amazing, and I won't go on about it, but I think, well done to you for starting for a young age, but also well done to you for what you've succeeded so far. We've sat here and we've probably talked now for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And obviously full of wealth and full of knowledge, so lots of information, really valuable. Right, what I will say is stay to the end, and I do actually mean the very end, because this guy is going to share some top tips about arbitrage PPC. So if you're doing arbitrage and doing PPC, what he shares at the end, oh my God, that stuff is killer. So stay to the end of that. So you talked about, you focus, I think you mentioned you focus on the marketing side, brand management, account management around that. Tell us a little bit about, should we say, a typical customer of yours, where would they start and where would they get to?
Usually when a current Amazon seller comes to me, it could either be a private label seller or it could be just a normal real world brand with distributors, etc. Usually the first thing that needs to be done is the listing conversion. Enhanced brand content, listing infographics, Amazon type of images, infographics, SEO optimized copy. Like usually these are the main things that we have to fix in the very beginning. If you're a private label seller, if you researched a bit more into Amazon specific things, if you got a course, you probably know this. But most businesses that are actually selling on Amazon and they're competing with other businesses like that, they have no idea how a normal high conversion Amazon listing should look like. So that's the first thing that needs to be fixed, is the conversion. The second thing, we check all the Amazon programs. Reviews, early reviewer program, Vine program. I check what's their SOPs for launching new products. So basically what's their structure, what's their infrastructure, how they're doing things, how they're launching new products, how they're working with their PPC. When the conversion is fixed with the listings, with the reviews, that's also very important. We have to fix the reviews if they're not as we want them to be. So when everything with the conversion is great, then we move on to the PPC side. And in some cases, there's literally no PPC being done. These are the very, very low-hanging fruits. In most cases, obviously, there is advertising, there is PPC, and what we need to do is first fix the current broken structure, because usually there is none. Your PPC strategy has to have a structure. If you don't have a structure, if you don't have a scalable structure in your campaigns, then most probably you will need to redo most of it in order to get the long-term profit, get the long-term goal basically. So we fix the structure and we start scaling. We automate some of the campaigns with the PPC, some of the basic campaigns with one software or the other. And then we start scaling with sponsor brands, with display ads, with video ads, with sponsored products. So two things, conversion and traffic. At first, you're always want to fix the conversion. Then you want to use Amazon's internal traffic as much as possible, with the ranking, with everything. If you have infrastructure, if you have resources for external traffic, that's incredible and that's really valuable. But if you want to spend money on external traffic, first make sure that you're paying Amazon enough for the internal traffic so you can get that ranking stuff. You can get that ranking juice.
Question there, you said, do internal PPC first before looking external. Why? You know, some people might be like, no, I'm just going to do the external. Why?
You could focus on external traffic and send it to a particular keyword, but you have to remember two main Amazon goals. The first one is customer satisfaction. That's the top priority for Amazon. The second one is Amazon's bottom line. Amazon has to make money. If your whole business is around these two rules, Amazon is going to reward you a lot. So technically, if you're looking very short term, you could start by spending money on Google and Facebook to get that initial traffic, or doing rebates. Some people might like doing that. You can spend money on traffic from outside sources to particular keywords to rank on those keywords. But if you spend money on PPC for the same keywords, for broader keywords, you are being rewarded with the long tail keywords, with the long tail ranking, and Amazon will give you better ranking because this is the natural way to do things. Usually, we are not using external traffic. In launching products, we're not doing external traffic. In scaling products, we're not doing external traffic. Usually, the external traffic, it's conserved for the websites, for our own website, and sometimes we just give it a boost. If we have an email list, if we launch a new product on Amazon, that is fine. We're doing internal PPC, but if we have an email list, once a month or once every 2 months, we do a discount with the coupon codes on Amazon with no keywords, with Amazon's natural shareable email links, which is also important because that's the most legal and white hat way to use shareable links to get the ranking juice. So we're doing the email campaigns to boost our sales, to boost our rankings, and that helps. But you have to make sure that you're doing everything you can with the internal PPC. And if you want to do external PPC, when you're done with the internal one, there's Amazon DSP, demand side platform advertising. So if you're spending at least $30,000, $40,000 in PPC internally, then you can, get some of that, get some extra budget in. I think it's about $15,000 for a month, so $30,000 minimum capital that you have to be ready to invest into Amazon DSP, which is advertising your Amazon products with a pixel outside of Amazon. So you can do external traffic, but what we want to focus first is the internal one.
Okay, interesting. And I think, hey, we talk about it in our world, is about, we call it like Amazon cares about two people, the customer and then Amazon itself.
Yeah, that's the same.
Hey, you're right. If Amazon's not, if you're driving external traffic straight to your listing and then Amazon's like, well, we're not making money out of this, so. Amazon, they do like the external traffic because for them it's free traffic, but you have to make sure that you're also driving traffic while paying them internally. Because in Amazon platform, PPC is one of the most revenue generating things for them. Okay.
I don't know the exact numbers, we probably should have Googled that, but it's generating Amazon a lot of money, and it's becoming more complex as the time goes forward. Even this year there's been a lot of new updates in Amazon PPC, which helps the conversion, and Amazon finds new ways to make more money, which is good for us sellers, because when Amazon is making money, they usually are making that money from our behalf, but when we are paying them money, we're getting something in return, which is more sales.
So first things first, thank you very much for sharing that. And hey, that's really interesting. So if you think about running campaigns within Amazon first before you go external. So you talked about fixing conversion, you talked about like reviews. can I just ask them maybe like three, if people are like thinking, hey, you know what you're talking about, what are things that you recommend people should really look at when they're looking at their conversion? What are they and what can they do if they're maybe watching this now?
So talking about reviews, so you have to make sure you have 4.5 stars. I don't care how you're gonna get there, but you kind of have to have 4.5 stars. Make sure if you're doing some incredibly high conversion review strategies that you're not going over 10% review rates. Just make sure of that. We're talking white hats and we've seen 20%, 30% review conversion. So you have to make sure you're not going over 10% because that's gonna bring you a lot of problems. So 4.5 stars. The second thing, you have to go look at your review first page. And with the Amazon helpful upvotes, you can fix your first page. How you are gonna do that, that's your problem, that's your concern. You might use your email list, you might use some other tactics, but you have to make sure they have 4.5 stars and your first review page has only good reviews. We do sometimes leave some 4-star reviews, some 3-star reviews, if those reviews are really informative and are gonna either deter a wrong customer from the product or they're gonna convince the right customer to buy the product, because there are reviews like that where they will deter the customer and they will inform the other customers, if they're not right for the product, which is always helpful. So that's first thing, fix the reviews. Then it's images. You have to make sure you have the images that are customer oriented. How we like to look at the images on Amazon, you have the first image, that's fine, but then you have the other 6 or 5 images. Imagine that the customer doesn't see anything else in the listing. No reviews, no title, no bullet points, no description, nothing. Only the images. And the customer has to make a decision only from those images. A lot of businesses come to me and when I tell them that you don't have Amazon images, and they're like, wait, I paid 700 euros for a photographer for these amazing quality images. And they just show me a product from different sizes in the white background, which is not informative. It doesn't give the customer anything to go from. So you want to make sure you have infographics, you want to make sure you have text, you want to make sure you have lifestyle images, customer-oriented images, what the customer is gaining from your product. How is it gonna help fix them the problem that they have? Is it gonna save them money? Is it gonna save them time? Is it gonna fix some sort of other problem? Then you do want to have at least one image that is about the product. This is not the best way, to sell. The best way to sell is doing the benefits for the customer, but then you have to have the features so the customer actually is more informed about your product. Third thing, you want to make sure you have a customer-oriented but also a SEO-optimized copy. You could write the copy yourself. I can honestly say I never wrote a copy for Amazon. I'm not a copywriter. You're probably not a copywriter. It is better to spend $200 or $400 for an Amazon listing copy. You're gonna get a lot more back from that because then the copy will be customer oriented, it's gonna be professional, it will have the right keywords for your rankings. What you need to remember is that Amazon's algorithm, Amazon's robot, we used to write copies for the robot. Now we're writing copies for the customer because the robot is so sophisticated that it thinks like a customer and it sees the text like a customer. So the third thing is your listing copy. The fourth thing, which is actually one of the biggest contributors for conversion. We have listings with 12,000 sessions per month with a 45% conversion rate. We have listings with a few thousand searches, with a few thousand sessions per month with 70 and 85% conversion rates. When you fix your listing, you can get your conversion rate to 15%, to 23%, to 30%. If you want to go above that, you have to be the number 1 or top 3 search results on Amazon. If you're in the top, your conversion is going to be one of the highest from the market. The products with the highest conversion, the ones that I just mentioned, 45, 80% conversion, we are literally number 1 or number 2 in most of our keywords. We get a lot of traffic and we get a lot of sales. Most people, they don't research that much. And if you are the first thing that they saw, they will most probably put in the most time in your listing to understand your product. Then they might move to other products to check them. They might click on other products, but they will not spend that much time in their products as they did in yours, because you were the first they clicked on. They might come back and they might buy your product, which gives you, the highest conversion. So these are like 4 things for the conversion rate.
So summarize. Okay, so we'll work backwards.
Yeah.
Obviously, get yourself highest up sales ranking. Get number 1, 2, or 3.
Well, but that's the thing that you can get it after you have a good conversion. After making, you have to be the best. That's when the conversion comes.
And then you talked about it. Get your ad copy done. And now it's not about doing it.
Not the ad copy. No.
Sorry,
listing copy.
Listing copy. Sorry. It's not about the robot. It's about getting it right for the human. Obviously, getting the words in there, but it's got to be readable, good work. You talked about images. And then also you talked about reviews, getting your reviews right. And now, hey, that's a really interesting point. Making sure that the first reviews that people see using the upvote is really, you talked about that. That's really important. Also, you talked about the 20%. Amazing insight there. That's
I wouldn't go over 10%. Like 20% is when the robots.
Yeah.
20% is when the robots gonna flag your listing. It's not gonna give you anything bad yet. But it might happen that your listing variation reviews will split. It might happen that your listing might get review suspension, so it's not able to get more reviews. There's a lot of problems involved if you get, above 20%, but stay at up to 10%. That's really a lot. Sorry for interrupting.
No. Hey, honestly. And I said 20% because that was a figure that you don't want to go above.
Yeah.
10% definitely. And you know what? We always talk about, get good reviews, but no one talks about cold hard numbers, and that's really thank you so much. Really useful. 4 top tips shared there. Which one of the 4 do you like the most? Drop down in the comments below. So obviously you're a man, wealth of knowledge, lots going on. What does the future hold for you? What are you planning? Obviously you're 21 now, 22 next month. What's going on in the future?
Well, I do plan to expand my account management side of the business a bit more. I am hiring more help, training new people to, I'm building processes for my business, for my customer businesses. And I just want to grow this side of the business much, much more than I am right now.
Fantastic. And hey, we've been talking, you deal with lots of 6, 7 figure, 8 figure maybe?
We do have an 8 figure. Usually it's 7 figure sellers. The most common revenue levels are about $100,000 per month. Above that is when you have something unique, and the company, it's usually, if we can't go above $100,000 in revenue, that's usually a problem with the infrastructure of the company, that we just cannot scale that fast because we will run out of stock. We'll run out of stock. We won't have enough human resources sometimes. We don't, like the company, and that's what I mean we won't have enough capital to get more people to work on that project. So sometimes we hit a plateau where it just takes a bit more time for the company to buy more manufacturing equipment, to buy more resources, to get everything up and running. Because when we start scaling, that's the biggest problem, is running out of stock, not being able to manufacture fast enough.
I certainly understand that, and you talked about it a lot when we were talking. So first things first, thank you very much for sharing all that wealth of knowledge, really important, really useful. Thank you, practical tips.
Well, I hope it helps someone.
Honestly, I think it will. Quick question for you: if anyone wants to get in contact, maybe they want to learn more about you, how can they do it?
Well, I think we will put in something in the description first. You can go to my website, chaseconsulting.com, or you can write an email to me, klaidas@chaseconsulting.com. Find my Instagram, find my Facebook. Any way you get in contact with, that's totally fine.
Fantastic. And hey, you know what? I'll drop a link down below. So if you want to see that, don't worry. The link will be just in the description. Have a look below. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day, busy day, and sharing some top valuable tips there. And you know what? Even in our world as arbitrage sellers, we look at multi-pack bundles, creating new listings, all that super valuable. That's really, really good.
I want to share one more thing in regards of PPC. I think it might be a bit more, I think it might be good for the arbitrage sellers. So as you know, if you're advertising when you're competing for the buy box and doing sponsored products, your ads will not be live if you don't have the buy box. So you can obviously always have your can always have your ads being turned on. Try to focus on very, very long tail keywords. You can have 20, 30 campaigns with keywords from 3-4 words. which are usually very low traffic, but what they share in common is the main keywords of the niche. They have the main keywords, but you're focusing on the long tail keywords, which have less competition, which has, they are much cheaper than the main ones with less traffic. You have 25 keywords per campaign. You have exact broad phrase campaigns, 20, 30 campaigns with a lot of keywords, long tail keywords. You will get a lot of low hanging fruit sales. And if you're doing arbitrage, you don't usually, as I understand, you don't really need to focus on ranking that much. What you need to focus more is the profitability. Because when we're doing private label, we don't really, I can't say we don't care, but we don't focus on profitability that much in the beginning. The profits, they come after half a year, they can come after a whole year when we reach the rankings. But when you're doing retail arbitrage, when you're competing for the buy box, your main goal is the profit, is the short-term profits as well, if you're competing with hundreds of other different sellers. So you want to take the low-hanging fruits, the long-tail keywords, but make sure you have 25 per campaign, not more, because if you have more, it's just going to be a lot of trash. I can say that. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of trash because Amazon campaign attention span is not that long. It's not that big. So I guess that's the final tip that I just wanted to share in regards of PPC for the arbitrage sellers.
For me and you guys, to you, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you as well. Have a great day.